Most know Teri Hatcher from her work in hit shows like Lois and Clark and Desperate Housewives, but not everyone knows that the actress is a mum. It's even harder to believe that Hatcher's little girl Emerson is already all grown up. Here's what else you should know about Hatcher's daughter. Before becoming a Bond girl and even before starring as Lois Lane, Hatcher was married to Marcus Lighthold. They divorced a year later and didn't have any children. It wasn't until Hatcher's second marriage to actor Jon Tenney that she would become a mum. In November 1997, they announced the birth of the couple's first child, a baby girl, Emerson Rose Tenney. Although Hatcher and Tenney divorced when Emerson was young, the actress kindly reflected on her ex-husband in her 2006 book, Burnt Toast and Other Philosophies of Life. In it, she said, "I married a kind man who is a good father, and I am grateful for the hard-won peace we've now found." In her memoir, Hatcher said she knows for sure when she became pregnant with her daughter, recalling, "I know exactly when Emerson was conceived because Jon and I, had sex once that year, on Valentine's Day." Hatcher adds that the couple wasn't intimate for much of their 9-year marriage, including their honeymoon. She said, "From the beginning, our marriage was probably more defined by friendship." Hatcher didn't provide further explanation until after her book was released, when she opened up to Vanity Fair and later Oprah Winfrey. Tragically, the star revealed that she had been molested by a relative when she was a child. In her interview with Winfrey, the host said she could see how the couple's lack of intimacy was, quote, connected to the abuse. Hatcher eventually went to the police and bravely testified against her abuser, who had allegedly been abusing other girls. Chuck Gillingham, the prosecutor in the case against Hatcher's uncle, told Vanity Fair that Hatcher did so for her daughter. If that had happened to Emerson, he said, she would have wanted someone to come forward and do the right thing. Emerson's mum couldn't exactly take it easy after they moved to California. Once Hatcher was cast in Desperate Housewives, 10 months out of every year for 8 years were dedicated to being on set and shooting the show. Hatcher also worked on her memoir during the hectic filming schedule. She was certainly busy, but she was also dedicated to her role as a mum. The star told Vanity Fair she would wake up every morning at 5:45 a.m. to whip up oatmeal and an omelette for her then 8-year-old daughter. Hatcher also packed Emerson's lunch every day, and it wasn't your standard peanut butter and jelly sandwich. No, it was more like pasta tossed in olive oil and truffle salt. Truffle salt! Although Emerson received a progressive education, her upbringing was surprisingly normal. Well, as normal as it could be for being Teri Hatcher's daughter. The paparazzi often hounded the mother-daughter duo, according to Hatcher. Although they often only captured the two running mundane errands, a Starbucks trip on a Saturday morning, for example, they apparently kept at it. When Emerson was 9, Hatcher was brought on as a guest editor for Glamour and figured she'd let her daughter photograph the paparazzi for an article she was writing. The star said it wasn't done to be nasty, but after getting hounded at the ATM machine, she handed her daughter the camera. And that's when Emerson began walking towards the paparazzi and taking pictures. After the article was published, the photographers stopped following them so much, according to Hatcher. She added, "I don't know if it's because of that or I'm just suddenly not hot anymore, but what was important about it was really empowering to her." Instilling, quote, compassion and generosity in her daughter was important, Hatcher told People. While that sounds easy enough, Emerson's upbringing wasn't exactly traditional. She's the daughter of 2 celebrities after all. Still, it seems Hatcher made sure her daughter's childhood wasn't over the top. The actress took extra steps to keep Emerson grounded. She told People, "I think when you have fortune, one of the most important things to do as a parent is to not raise a brat." That's not to say Hatcher always kept Emerson out of the spotlight. In 2007, the mother-daughter pair made an appearance on The Rachel Ray Show and cooked up their favorite Thanksgiving recipe together. Emerson may have been a kid at the time, but she chopped up pears and mixed together stuffing like she'd been doing it her whole life, which maybe she had. When Emerson was a young teenager, Hatcher also brought her daughter to events like the Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides premiere in Disneyland.
This is a well-travelled trade route. You can signal a passing ship. Or you can just bite the proverbial bullet, as it were.
While Hatcher didn't keep Emerson hidden, Hollywood events like this weren't exactly a daily occurrence. Soon after Emerson's 17th birthday, she and her mum began scouting out colleges. Emerson recognized that attending college was a privilege not afforded to all, and she knew she wanted to provide resources to underprivileged students so they too might earn a degree. And so while Emerson was busy applying for colleges, she was also working hard to help others do the same. At just 17, she started raising money for the charity Fulfillment Fund by writing a blog, reachandsafe.com, bringing awareness to the cause. Hatcher told People, "The older she gets, now things are beginning to come more and more from her." This idea of wanting to really help education locally in our community really came from her. Hatcher certainly did as she set out to do, instilling both compassion and generosity in her daughter. Emerson has gone on some incredible trips with her mom, from camping in what Hatcher described as her olive green 78 Volkswagen minibus, complete with its Scooby-Doo curtains, to even a Croatian cruise. The mother-daughter duo have enjoyed traveling anywhere and everywhere together. On her blog, Emerson revealed more details about the vacations spent with her mom. She said, "I have memories of kissing a giraffe with a 21-inch tongue in Africa to swimming with 8 minke whales off the Great Barrier Reef." After graduating high school, Emerson and her mum, along with Emerson's best friend Claire and her mother Christina, travelled 3,000 miles to explore colleges all over the United States. Hatcher wrote, "This may be the last big mother-daughter trip we take for a while, but it's not sad. It too is just another rite of passage on the road to adulthood." In a blog post, Emerson explained that because she's from a divorced family, summers were spending 21 vacation days with each parent. While those 3 weeks with her mum were often spent travelling, her time with her dad was likely a little more low-key. In 2016, Tenney shared a photo of Emerson and himself outside a polling location. He was incredibly proud it was her first time voting. And in 2017, Emerson posted a photo to Instagram of her and her dad sitting with a box of half-eaten donuts. Her caption was, "Today, there was no line at PV Donuts. A true family weekend miracle." While going out for donuts is not exactly the same as an African safari, Emerson seems to enjoy the time she gets to spend with both of her parents. After travelling the country in search of her ideal college, Emerson applied and was accepted to Brown University as a literary arts major. This was no easy feat, considering less than 10% of applicants are invited to attend an Ivy League school. Brown University is one of the best schools one can attend for creative writing. It's also one of the oldest creative writing programs, as it was started in the 1960s by poet Edwin Honig. In September 2018, Hatcher revealed in an interview on the British show Loose Women that her daughter had recently begun her second year at Brown.
You know, you spend a lot of energy for 18 years being a great mom, making your child the focus. And so finally, it's your time.
In 2017, Emerson revealed that she was busy studying for her midterms, and they must have went well, because by May 2020, Emerson had graduated from Brown. Emerson was the voice behind Magic Dragonfly in 2009's Coraline, which also starred her mother. The young actress also provided some voiceovers for the 2013 film Planes. Despite both of her parents being actors and Emerson having already secured a foot in the door, she's not exactly working toward a career in show business. If her major didn't give it away, Emerson is an aspiring writer, and as it turns out, she's already started her writing career. In spring 2018, Emerson's poem, Walks, was published on the College Hill Independent website. Later that same year, her essay, Baked Because Bread is Fundamental, was published on the site. In 2019, the young writer also contributed to Gucci's irregular report about gender fluidity in the Generation Z demographic. We have a feeling she's going places. On November 4th, 2018, Teri Hatcher and her daughter took to the streets of New York City to run their very first marathon together, and all to benefit the Save the Children Foundation. Ahead of their 26.2-mile race, people caught up with the then 20-year-old. Emerson told the publication, "As incredible of a physical achievement as a marathon is, that has never been my main motivation. I want to run the NYC Marathon because I want to run it with my mom. I'm grateful that as I get older, we can share so many experiences together, that she's able to inspire me and push me to try things outside of my comfort zone." Emerson added that the run was about, quote, "celebrating mother-daughter relationships. Best mum-daughter duo ever? Sounds like it." Teri Hatcher and her daughter Emerson didn't just show up in New York City and run a marathon together, they actually trained side by side. Hatcher divulged to People that she and Emerson were trained by Luke Milton, the founder of Training Mate. She told People, It basically involves a couple of shorter, medium-length runs a week, and one longer run and then some strength training on other days. Although the actress admitted that she doesn't really enjoy running, she was excited to run the marathon with her daughter. She said, "It's just a bonding thing that you can't really replace or have from any other experience." Even after the marathon was over, this awesome mother-daughter pair continues to work out together when their busy schedules allow. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more list videos about your favourite celebs are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.